All right. Hello, 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 hello. Sean Brady here with the Medici Muse, Medici Media Space, behind the scene, if you will. Our great friend Jaleesa, and Jaleesa and I are talking finances, and we're looking to spin this into a regular show. And Jaleesa, you had a couple of questions about money and what we're saving for and things like that. But I just wanted to get more specific because we can. There's I learned from Jim Rohn, and just a famous guy who's passed away, but he was just a great learner of different things. And one of the things that I learned from Jim Rohn is if you want to be wealthy, learn more about wealth. If you want to be healthy, learn more about health. If you want to be whatever you want, just go learn more about that. So this is kind of a stepping stone for people who want these money and financial insights into some of the easier roads to take, because it can get really complicated. It can be really scary, and as we said in another conversation, it can kind of be taboo. Am I right or am I right?
Right.
So, all that being said, was there one specific question, or because you had a couple there,
Yeah,
right?
no,
Like knowing what to do, but just play with one scenario and get specific, and we'll answer that question.
yeah, I don't have a specific question because I think my thing is more so about just learning about what is out there. Um,
Sure.
and I shared with you a little bit right before we started this about an app called Truebill, and that has been helping me just organize my current finances and bills. It also does a credit, shows you your credit report, shows you what's on it, what you need to take care of, and contacts to contact the if there you have something with collections, there's a number to contact them to figure it out. So it's just really helpful in helping you take care of your finances in one place. But that was I read about Truebill in a financial article. So
There you
I
go.
think, like you said, it is about trying to just going out there and seeing what information is out there that you can grab or that you come across, reading it, and then trying it out for yourself. But
Absolutely.
sometimes you
Well, and
don't
what I
know. Sometimes you
so you
don't know
don't know.
what you don't know,
That's right.
basically. So you have to
Always.
always, right? So it's also a matter of just surrounding yourself with people that know a little bit more than you do and can share that with you.
Well, thank you. And the one thing I want to highlight that's really cool that I wish I would. Another thing that I shared that I didn't share from earlier was that I wish I would have budgeted more. It sounds like you found a cool budgeting tool to kind of align where all your money's going. So, because if you know where all your money's going, then you're more aware of it. Just like when you track calories or you track a food app or something like that, all of a sudden, because you're tracking it, anything you track improves.
Correct.
So you'll begin to realize it's like, oh, give it a few months for sure, right? But this is an ongoing process. We use a different budgeting tool. We use Every Dollar, and I think it's now, I don't know, Dave. It's a Dave Ramsey product, which we like. And I'm not a paid endorsement for anything, and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not anything.
Right.
But I have done these practices for a long time, and we went from broke to in a very right-sided position. So hopefully we can impart some of this wisdom and knowledge onto anybody who has it. So what I really like is the fact that you're using a budgeting tool that you like, right? And you're playing with it. And if you don't
Yeah.
like it anymore, there's a bunch of other ones out there. But
Exactly.
the other thing that I really like is that you're checking your credit. That's something that some people do, some people don't do, and we can do that free every from each of the three credit agencies. We can do that once a year for free. And if you check each agency that are doing it 3 times a year, you could be you want to be more safe. You don't want somebody stealing your identity, your credit, and things like that. You want to, as much as you want to invest, you also want to protect what you got. And even if you
Exactly.
don't think you got a lot, stealing someone's identity is terrible. So we always have to be on the lookout for that.
Correct. Exactly. there's also another one. There's one called Stash too. There's an app called
Stash.
Yes,
And
it's
that's
just
that
strictly
sounds like a savings app.
exactly. It's strictly all about that. You can plan, set a goal and it'll work with you to tell you like what you need to save in order to reach that goal. Really
And
cool.
on that subject too, what's a fun little thing, and I sometimes I forget I do this, but you can set up at almost any bank that where you have a checking account. If you have a savings account there too, is just have an automatic withdrawal come out of it, and something nominal like
Yeah.
10, 20, 25 bucks. I
Yep.
think I do 25 bucks a month, and it just goes into my savings, and then
Mhm.
it's like, oh well, at the end of the year that
Exactly.
it adds up to some decent cash, and it's
Yeah,
like,
you
oh, I
don't
can
even
put it
think
over here.
about it because it's
Right.
so little, but that's a great way to save too.
Yeah. And now I know there's people out there's like, oh my gosh, Sean, there's so many better things with better interest rates, and that's fine. I know there is, and that's something else we can learn down the road, or people can find, and as they get more astute in understanding where money is,
Yes.
that's absolutely fine. But the bigger part is being on budget and actually doing the practice of that repetition, getting a forced habit of saving and not, spending it.
Correct.
Because at the end of the year and the end of 10 years and the end of 30 years, that's going to add up to some real dollars, especially if you invest it. But the beginning of it, and start with the baby steps. That's, I'm a big proponent for Dave Ramsey. Start with the baby steps.
Mm.
Get your $1,000 emergency fund, started, and then, that's in cash. And
Yes.
don't worry about where to put it in an interest rate and things like that. And that's something that even Warren Buffett got advice from his father many, 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 many years ago. And he got it as a wedding gift. It was $1,000, which equates in today's dollar about 15,000. So that was, he was I think a dentist, or certainly a nice white collar professional at the time.
Mhm.
And so he could afford to give his kids a pretty substantial wedding gift. But the bigger point of it was that there was cash, and he's like, look, he learned from his father that this is not an investment. This is not something for you to put into an interest account or be speculative with. This is for emergencies, because in an emergency there's nothing else like cold hard cash.
Yes.
And that's a philosophy that stuck with him all the time, and he always tries to keep a little bit of cash for on hand for all of his companies, and I think it's just a good smart business practice. So I love what you're doing. I think you're on the right track. Good
Thank
job,
you.
Jaleesa.
Well,
I
thank you,
know.
Todd.
You're welcome. What else can we do to share with people to inspire them, to get them on the right path? Oh, I loved your question too. It's like, money is taboo,
Oh, yes.
right? Don't let it be, right? Talk to your friends, talk to your family members, especially if you love them,
Yeah,
right?
right, exactly.
Find out what their habits are, right?
Right,
Because my guess is that the ones that need help aren't asking for it,
right,
and the ones who don't need help would love to share their wisdom and insight and help, right?
right.
And it's just like testing out all these different apps. It
Mhm.
doesn't mean you're getting married to it, but you take in this information, and then you yourself have a better way to make an informed decision. It's all
Correct.
about participation.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
so cool.
It's
It's
really
good stuff.
cool. It's really cool. And you'll learn so much and you're like, I had no clue. Like, what am I doing? And then you're like, wait, what are my friends doing? And then what are my parents? Wait, hold on. I gotta ask
Right.
questions.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
and at some point you'll go, well, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Or
Right.
why did you do that? What how come I don't know about that? And
Exact. How come I don't know about that? And that's huge. Like,
yes.
and I think that's why it feels taboo because I think a lot of people have money trouble, so they don't want to talk about it. But
Yeah.
because they don't talk about it, they also close themselves off to getting information that possibly could help them or enlighten them. And it's not like in school, I was not taught a lot about having good money habits
Very little.
or very little. And so it's kind of like, where do you get this information? Am I responsible for figuring out something so big on my own?
Yes.
So,
Absolutely. And the truth of the matter is it's a play it like a team sport.
yeah,
It's your
right,
money. You get to make it, and you get
right,
to direct where it goes. But if you don't know how to manage it, then
exactly.
somebody said it's like, oh, if you want to know what the future holds, it's gonna be like today,
Yeah.
like it is right now. There'll be some major catastrophe and disaster that will affect us down the road, and that'll happen in cycles. And then there will be, all the other stuff in between. Well, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with that? I'm glad
Exactly.
the price of gas is down and there's not as many people on the road, but it's scary to have all these people without, solid, affordable income earning opportunities.
Exactly.
So uh, all those questions are the same, and they've been saying them for decades. So now it's a matter of us just to take the bull by the horn, so to speak, and learn what we can learn.
Yep. That's it.
Cool. The other thing I'll say to just close this session out, and it's a theme I think, uh, Dave Ramsey says, "Debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid off home mortgage has replaced the BMW as a status symbol of choice." But something along those lines. And that's the only thing I say. It's like, debt is the biggest destroyer of people.
Mhm.
And, some people call it indentured servitude. I just call it slavery for most people, right? It's
Mhm.
so hard to escape that. And it's like, let's, run,
Right.
get rid of any debt for people out there. That's like the best place to start.
Mhm.
And it's a step in the right direction, but it's all baby steps. You're not alone
Yeah, you're not alone.
at
like
all.
that's the message for sure to also convey to people. Like, hey, we're
Yes,
all have to start at some place, and a lot of us are in the same place. So
yes,
let's start now.
sure are. I had a lot of debt
Yeah, yeah,
until I didn't, and then it's hard stuff.
it's
So
hard stuff. Yeah, especially if you went to
yes,
school. Like,
and then you get new money problems. So don't
you-
worry, there's always going to be money problems.
there's always going to be more money, more problems. Honestly.
Yeah, well, it's there was at Landmark Education, Landmark Worldwide. There's a saying that goes around. It's like, most people don't have money problems; they have a lack of money problems. So
Right.
it's like you don't have money problems until you have money to have problems with, and
Yeah.
most of them are broke. So,
Right.
like, yeah,
Exactly. Oh gosh,
I
that's
need to
funny.
get me some money problems. I
Ready
need
to
to get
get
rid of
me
some
some
of this. I
money.
got debt issues.
Right.
So it's all good. All right. Well, as always, Julissa, thank you as always. Thanks for
My
being my
pleasure.
media coordinator and helping me navigate this whole online streaming and putting information and content out there. Hope this helps a bunch of people who see it. And as I always say, we may not see you in person, but we will see you right here on social media. Thanks for watching. Oh, and see, I forgot to do the little get ready on Zoom so I can shut it out. And we're out.